Well, we're tracking an area of low pressure that's going to bring some snow to parts of the Northeast. Another system will bring some more wintry weather, maybe even some rain showers to the mid-Atlantic. I just got to tell you guys something. This right here, this is a wild-looking pattern that's trying to set up next weekend, and that could mean snow in places where we normally don't see snow if this comes to pass. We're going to talk about all that today, so stick around. Hey, everybody, thanks for stopping by, and a lot of new folks coming in, so welcome. My name is Travis Roberts. I'm a former TV chief meteorologist, and I love winter forecasting. It's always been my favorite, so we're going to dig into that today. We're going to talk about what may be, what could be, and what probably won't be. But before we do, thanks guys for chiming in yesterday in the comments section. I asked, would you move or have you ever moved because of the weather? And I was surprised to see that some of you said, yeah, I have. But what I did read is a lot of you love where you live. So today, as we look at the weather, chime in below. I love hearing from you guys wherever you live. What do you love the most about where you live, weather-wise? Maybe what do you dislike the most about where you live? What's the drawback? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you there. Low pressure moving toward the northeast as we head into Sunday. That may bring a little bit of snow as far west as Ohio and Indiana. Not a lot here, and it won't last very long. The main accumulating snow will be here. Northern parts of Pennsylvania over to New York, the Catskills, maybe even up into the Adirondacks, but the heaviest snow will likely be right here along the New York-Pennsylvania border into the western parts of Massachusetts. Even parts of Vermont and New Hampshire will pick up on a brief round of heavy snow as this system moves just south of the New England coastline. Pretty good snow going for Boston, all the way up into Maine too, as this system pulls away, and then cold air behind it, and we'll see everything transition to snow all the way down to the coast here into New York City and even into parts of New Jersey. Snow showers will continue across the mountains of West Virginia into Pennsylvania, Western Virginia, even into parts of North Carolina and Tennessee. Through early Monday morning, we'll get that upslope snow here, so some accumulation is definitely possible. Here's a look at the GFS snow totals, giving you the idea. Anything over purple here is more than 6 inches. Those areas I talked about right in here, that looks to be the sweet spot. Also, the mountains here into West Virginia, North Carolina. I think that's where we at least see a couple of inches of snow. The European does a better job, I think, of defining that rain-snow line here. So there you go. Southern Massachusetts looks like the line. There may be a mix here across northern parts of Connecticut. I think New York City, southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island, Providence, maybe even over to Boston. We start as rain, but eventually we will turn over to snow. All the way across Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, snow. But once you get into the valleys, you can see it looks like rain. Same could be said even to parts of West Virginia and Virginia. The highest elevations will likely see snow into Monday morning. The European highlighting this area too for the heaviest snow. Again, not nearly as much snow from Ohio back into Indiana across the Midwest, but I do think there will be some accumulation again into the mountains, and the NAM also picking up on that idea, that rain snow line being in a very similar spot with those snow showers here. The NAM is outputting a little more snow here and also a little more here into the Appalachian Mountains. I think that's something to keep an eye on into Monday morning. Now, once this system moves through, we will see another system dive in from the northwest. That's going to bring some rain and snow showers. Yes, warm enough for rain showers in some areas as we head into Tuesday evening and across the Ohio River, but some light snow possible from Michigan down into parts of Indiana, Ohio, eventually working into the mid-Atlantic states. I think east of the mountains too warm for any snow. So once you get toward Richmond, you get into the Piedmont of North Carolina. We're just talking about rain here. Again, not a lot of cold air with this system, and then things start to get weird as this system moves into the west. This is going to bring a lot of heavy rain and snow from the Pacific Northwest, eventually all the way down into Southern California. This could cause more flooding in areas that just saw the flooding across Southern California. Eventually that works inland. So we're talking about now rain and heavy snow possible for parts of Arizona, up into Utah, even in most of the Intermountain West, seeing that heavy snow as far north as Idaho, and then eventually working its way into Colorado. And here comes the rain back into Texas. Into the Northeast, though, while this is happening, backing things up, here we go into Thursday and Friday. A shot of cold air moves in. That's going to bring some rain and snow showers here to the northeast, even as far south as the mountains again into West Virginia and Virginia, and then into New England, another round of snow. And this is some pretty cold air working in here. Now, here's a bit of a different look. This is the European model as we head into next weekend. Don't put a lot of faith in this just yet. I want to show you the pattern, and that looks very stormy and, again, pretty wild. So heading into next Saturday, here's our trough in the east. I think the GFS and the European agree on this so far. Big trough digging in here, another trough across the west, and a huge ridge all the way north into Canada as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. But look how strange things get on the European. Low pressure moving along the Gulf Coast. You've got this trough here in the east. You see these start to phase together here across the south and the mid-Atlantic. And it's trying to drop a little bit of snow here in parts of eastern North Carolina into the mid-Atlantic. And this is a huge storm trying to get going into the East Coast. But check this out. This is the European from last night showing an idea still that you see a southern track storm here that moves through the mid-Atlantic, moves off the coast, and then tries to wrap up and do something really funky off the East Coast. This will be, again, something to watch. I'll keep an eye on it. Hit subscribe. I'll keep these updates coming your way, and we'll track it this week. Across the west, the heaviest rain through the middle part of the week will be pretty much from Northern California up into Oregon and then into Washington. And then as we move toward the end of the week, here comes the heavy rain into Southern California and then across the far southwest. Snow will add up here into the Sierra Nevada, all the way up into the Cascades, and then all across the mountains here in the west. And then look at these totals. We're going to push it all the way into next week. I mean, it's going to stay unsettled here, so more snow on the way for the mountains. And this hasn't changed since yesterday, but yeah, we're still looking at the idea of a pretty cold February and March. This is once we get to about the 10th or 11th of February, I think we see a big pattern change. Not that what we're seeing heading into next week is not going to be really crazy, but this right here is classic cold. And I think that's what we start to see heading into not only February, but March as well. I think the worst of winter is ahead. I really do believe that. And it's not just based on what I feel or what I believe. You know, what I'm seeing here when I look at those long-term European weeklies, which actually predicted very well the cold that we just saw the last week or so across North America. And it's predicting now not only a cold pattern, but a stormy pattern. This is the European control from yesterday. You know, we're now looking out really long-term into February. And just look at the idea. Don't track any particular storm, but look how busy it is. We're seeing this northwest flow, this counterclockwise flow here in the United States. That's cold, and then you have these lobes of energy just rotating around it. This is stormy. It looks like a pattern that is going to be very active, and I hope you can stick around for it. It's going to be a lot of fun to track. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Again, leave a comment down below. What's the thing you love the most about where you live, weather-wise, or maybe you dislike? I'll see you in the comments. Have a great day.